Welcome back, it's me, Lou. I'm here for another action figure unboxing and review. Today will be a special video as we jump into the time machine and travel back a whole 28 years to the year 1996 as we take a look at this. From Kenner, we are featuring Legends of the Dark Knight Premium Collector Series Lethal Impact Bane with Venom Powered Punch and Stinger Gauntlet. Alright, so I'm incredibly fond of the Legends of the Dark Knight line from the late 90s. This was really aimed at collectors, premium collector series. But the one thing I loved about these toys is that they still featured some very awesome play features. So if you're a child, they're fun to play with. But if you're an adult, these figures could really hold their own against other collector-minded action figures at the time, like the Spawn action figures produced by McFarlane Toys, or some of the later Marvel action figures offered by Toy Biz, specifically the Marvel Legends line. Beautiful looking version of Bane. Huge fan of the Bane character. I think Bane's awesome. This figure is a beast. It looks gigantic, and I don't know, everything about this is just awesome. On the back of the box, you have a nice description of the Dark Knight world that these action figures populate. You also have a nice little bio here on Bane. I love stuff like this. Modern action figures, they're very light on the copy. They never talk about the figures or the characters on the back of the box. A lot of companies just take the cheap road out and they'll just throw like a picture of the figure or an image from a comic book. But if you're unfamiliar with that universe or those characters, you don't really have a clue of what you're buying. But this is awesome. It's all about world building. This kind of stuff sparks a child's imagination and it gives them an idea of like the kind of adventures these characters go on. Awesome checklist of other figures in the wave. There's Neural Claw Batman, Spline Cape Batman, Assault Gauntlet Batman, Dive Claw Robin, and Twister Strike Scarecrow. And there's also the Skywing Street Bike. All awesome action figures, and this is the kind of stuff that you might find like at a collectible toy store or a toy show or a flea market. And if you ever see any of these, give them a shot. You might actually dig this kind of stuff, especially if you're a younger collector. This will give you some insight into what like toys were like a lifetime ago. Or if you're like me, if you grew up on these kind of action figures, this is a nice walk down memory lane. Alright, we're going to take out Bane. Alright, so we have Lethal Impact Bane here. Let's adjust the white balance on this guy. Alright, I don't remember if the box indicated what the play feature was on this figure, but there is a button on the back, and if you press it, he does this. And then he has a swiveled waist. A very unique Bane, too, because he has this large mane of hair. I think most people associate Bane with modern Bane, where he's kind of like, he always has the mask, or he looks almost like he's bald. And then he has this kind of like gloved claw accessory, which can mount onto this hand here. If I could get it in place. Or just give me a moment. It's not cooperating. Why isn't it working? Oh, there we go. And then he has his tubing, which if you've read the comic books or if you're familiar with the character, this is how he kind of pumps that venom drug throughout his body. You plug it into the back, And then onto his head. If it'll go in, will it go in? No, there we go. And then there's another one too. Let's get that on. Okay, there you go. Gorgeous looking figure. Keep in mind this was 1996. So the toys back then, they're not up to the same standards as the toys we have nowadays. But I still think it's a wonderful looking action figure. It looks great. Nice head sculpt. The color scheme is very different than the Bane that we're all used to. You know, especially since it's using a lot more brighter colors like the red and the blues, as opposed to like this being more black, white, and you know, green with the Venom tubing. Nice luchador like mask. He has some scarring on him. He has 3 scars. It almost looks like he got in a tumble with like Wolverine. Nice vascular figure. Some beautiful vein work and musculature on the body. Very thin-waisted figure. He does swivel at the waist. Articulated legs that just, you know, they just go up and down. There is no articulation in the knees or in the ankles. You know, this is, which was kind of common for most action figures during this time period. He kind of has like the wrestling boots. But yeah, the play features is pretty fun. You know, you can like go punch opponents, and then he kind of swivels at the waist at the same time. So that's pretty awesome. Really tall action figure also. You're looking at something that stands in at about 7.5 inches. I do have another figure from this assortment also. We have from the Legends of the Dark Knight, we have Laughing Gas Joker over here. Gives you an idea of the size. This is a fun figure. I like this one a lot. This one has a fun gimmick. You press this button on the back, and then his suit explodes, revealing his true body underneath. And he's holding on to his Smilex bomb over here. A really awesome figure. For a size comparison, here he is next to a modern Batman figure. This is the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Batman. And you can see it scales pretty well, so I think it's awesome. And we have a much older Mattel Batman figure. We have the Dark Knight Christian Bale Batman, which is tiny next to all these figures. And then we have Hasbro Marvel Legends Superior Spider-Man, just to give you an idea of the scale. But yeah, for me, this is a nice callback to yesterday. I'm very fond of the 90s. I was in college during the late 90s when this guy came out. And I remember, you know, going to KB Toys and just always checking out the Batman figures. And this was one that I always kind of wanted, but I never pulled the trigger on. But lucky for me, I found this guy recently at one of the local collectible toy stores in my area, and I couldn't resist. I just had to get this guy. Alright, so with that being said, let's wrap this one up. Once again, my name is Lou. If you're new to my channel, welcome. If you are a returning viewer or subscriber, thank you so much for your continued support. I greatly appreciate it. So until the next video, be safe, take care of yourself, buy lots of toys, and most importantly, be happy. And I'll see you at the next one. Alright, later.